we need to talk. You and I, you and me, right now. Let's talk about the liminal space. The space in between who you were and who you are becoming. That unknown space when you've closed a door, or maybe multiple doors, maybe all the doors, and it doesn't feel like anything new has opened up yet, and you're just kind of waiting. You're in the waiting room of life. Hi, my name is Montoya Miller, and I work with women who are in this space, who are moving into this space. I have a one-on-one called Threshold, which is exactly about navigating this space from a place of deep trust and curiosity rather than fear and anxiety. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Being in this space of the in-between, I like to call it the void, is deeply humbling and deeply uncomfortable. As someone who has personally been in this space many times, I feel like it's important to have more conversations around the reality of being in this in-between and what it actually feels like. Because in my experience, there's a lot of kind of fluffy, wishful thinking type language going around, especially when it comes to spirituality and manifestation. If you hear screaming children in the background, it's just my neighbors. And I think it's really beautiful to be able to hold a positive perspective and mindset, even in the midst of what feels like chaos or darkness, big challenges, pain, grief, sorrow, all of these really challenging but very human things we all experience, or just simply being in the unknown. And at the same time, when you're in those spaces, like when you're in that in-between place where you have just tried everything and it feels like nothing is moving forward, and you're really being asked to just sit, to just be still, to just wait a little bit longer, it's really infuriating to have somebody come in and say, just be positive, just you're doing all the right things, just you gotta be positive and blah, blah, blah. Like, trust me, I know personally from being in that space and having people, they mean the best. Like, they want to help and remind me and like give me perspective. But sometimes, and I'm speaking to a very specific kind of point in this journey, I just want to remind you, like, sometimes it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to be a positive, loving, kind person while still throwing a temper tantrum here and there, and wanting to feel sorry for yourself, and wanting to just have a shitty day. Like, just decide, like, you know what, this is just gonna be a shit day. I'm just gonna feel horrible, and I'm just deciding that for today. And you know what, tomorrow's a new day. I think when we're in these spaces, one of the most important things we can do for ourselves is to actually admit to ourselves and accept what is happening and how we're truly feeling and where we're really at. Recently, I was having a very difficult time for a multitude of reasons, and it wasn't until I actually paused and admitted to myself, I am so burnt out. I am not okay right now. Like, I'm just at a low point. I'm not doing okay. I'm not myself right now. And it wasn't until I stopped and really acknowledged that and felt that and let myself feel the shame around that, of like trying to hold everything together and just reaching this breaking point of being like, you know what, I actually can't hold all of this anymore. Like, I'm just gonna run myself into the ground. I mean, I was having like a breakdown every single day, multiple times a day. So you sometimes have to reach that point where you're just like, enough is enough. Let me get really honest with myself about how this is not working and this is not sustainable. And there's a shift that happens, and sometimes it's really subtle, but there is a shift that happens when we can start to accept where we're currently at. And I think this is where we get stuck, because we think that once we accept where we're at, when we don't like it, we feel like we're somehow claiming to the universe that we're okay with it and we're somehow like settling for the current situation, even though we're not happy with it. But accepting the current situation is not the same as resigning to it. And that's a really important distinction to remember. When you accept something, you actually open up new possibilities and potential. Whereas when you're just trying to force your will and not really willing to be honest and take responsibility for where you're at, how you're feeling, what's working, what's not working, you kind of get tunnel vision and you become so attached to things having to go one way that you close yourself off to all of the other potential and possibility around you. Meanwhile, I feel like life is trying to communicate to you, hey, that one thing you're focused on or the things you're like forcing, just trying to make happen, for whatever reason, by you forcing and trying so hard, that's actually exactly what is making those things not happen. And it doesn't always mean that those specific things aren't meant for you, but maybe your approach needs to change. Maybe the energy behind why you're doing something is what needs to shift. Or maybe you just need a damn break and you need to rest and you need to slow down and take care of yourself. I'm going to be talking a lot more about being in this in-between space and standing at these thresholds of looking into the unknown with the familiar behind you and having no idea what's coming next or who you're being called to step into. But I think this is one of the first steps, is accepting where you are, accepting that you have made all of the choices that have brought you to this place. And whether you like it or not, there is power in claiming, I've decided this. I've chosen this through my choices over my entire lifetime. And the exciting part about that is if you notice you're somewhere that you don't really like, or there's just somewhere you would like to be instead, you have the power to make different choices to take you there. But it all starts with accepting your current reality so that you can open yourself up to new potential. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for future videos, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.